Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So, the day we have all been waiting for has finally arrived. The Thorpe Park Fright Nights 2020 announcement has been released. We now know all of the mazes and attractions coming to this year's Fright Nights event, and I'm going to be talking all about them in today's video.
Lights, camera, action.
Oh boy, I am so excited for this video. The announcement literally dropped about half an hour ago. I'm still buzzing off of the news. And yeah, I've just spent the last half an hour or so researching everything I can to let you guys know in this video. I'm going to be telling you guys all of the new mazes, all of the new attractions, where they're going to be located at the park, how much they're going to cost as well as just discussing all of the lesser known things and hidden secrets about this year's Fright Nights event. So exciting. This announcement, of course, came in the form of a video which was uploaded to Thorpe Park's social media platforms. I'm going to give it a watch now, but not on my own. I'm going to get the boys in here to come and react live with me. We've watched it a few times already, but it's a fantastic video, so I'm going to get them in here to watch it again. Bit of a tight squeeze, but we've got Lisa, we've got Arch Nemesis, and we've got Kieran.
Big up.
Right, I said we've watched this a few times already, so it's not new information, but it's a sick video, so let's give it a watch, boys. Oh yes.
Oh, sinister space. Let's go.
Seven lights.
Just seven. I thought there was 11. Oh, that's paying. That's nice little Michael Jackson in the background.
That's Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh yeah.
New Kids on the Block.
Let's go.
Bring them on.
Who's transferring to this school this year?
The Crows.
Les Cougars.
The Swarm.
I'm gassed for that.
If that comes back.
Oh.
The big one. Creek Freak.
Unchained.
Oh.
The Fiesta Arena.
That's gonna be so
Oh yeah.
Rise in the Dark. Nah, not a Fright Nights.
No right at Fright Nights. That's the end of the video, we thought.
Oh, yeah.
Two live action mazes.
Let's go!
Roots of Evil.
Ooh.
New one.
That looks clapped.
Fright Nights Fiesta. Wait, what?
Oh, the Bug Man.
Oh. Let's
Oh, no.
go. That's the video. What a year it's gonna be.
good.
What a year it's gonna be. Come on.
A good video. Let's go. Big up. Whoever made that.
Great video.
Right, thank you very much, boys. Any last words about this year's event?
Can't wait.
I think it's gonna be a great year. Great year.
Spooky season, baby!
Woo! There we are. Nice to see the boys are just as excited as I am for this year's Fright Nights event. On a real though, that video announcement is actually levels. I was quite disappointed after last year's official Creek Freak Massacre video. It really wasn't great. Like the production quality just wasn't quite there. But this year's video is incredible. All of the logos look so fresh, so professional. I'm so excited for this year's event. But yeah, those are all of the mazes, attractions coming to this year's event. As I said, I'm now going to go through all of them one by one, telling you guys all of the details that you need to know for each and every one of them. But before we actually go into all of the individual mazes, I think first of all we need to look at the overall event, which has had a name change. It's no longer just Fright Nights. This year they are branding it as Fright Nights FEARSTIVAL, which is really interesting. I can presume the reason they've done that is for COVID reasons. They're not advertising it as just a pure Fright Nights event. It is going to be slightly different to other years, and even just the name FEARSTIVAL kind of just suggests that it's going to be a slightly different year. A great year nonetheless by the looks of it. Also guess the fact that they are getting so many brand new things. Maybe they've just taken this opportunity to bring in a slight freshen up for the name and overall a branding for the event. And guys, be sure to leave a thumbs up right now on this video if you are excited for Fright Nights 2020. I know I certainly am. Right, so the first attraction that we saw in the announcement video was of course Terror at Amity High. high school sucks. And in the first construction update that we filmed and the speculation, that video that I also filmed, I said that it seems very, very likely that Terra at Amity High will be returning for this year's event. It obviously debuted technically in 2018, returned even bigger and better in 2019. It was one of the best things at last year's Fright Nights, and it seems like it's coming back this year. I imagine it will be pretty much the same as it was last year, taking place within Stealth Plaza, with presumably some regular flash mob style dance shows happening every few hours. So yeah, really, really excited to have Terra at Amity High returning for this year. Now, of course, next up is the first surprise to take place within this Fright Nights announcement, because it comes up with the words plus new kids on the block, which we then found out is referring to the howling of Thorpe High, which is going to be a scare zone themed around werewolves. The official description of this experience is chill out in the twilight with the students of Thorpe High, but keep your wits about you and pray the moon isn't full. These creatures can be a little more than boisterous. New for 2020, you're invited to the howling of Thorpe High, and they're on the hunt for new recruits. But be warned, their bite is worse than their bark. So yeah, really, really exciting that we're getting another scare zone in a similar style to Terra at Amity High. It seems like it's going to be based around another high school, Thorpe High this time, and yeah, all of the students are going to be werewolves. And this is going to be located opposite the cantina. So basically where Do or Die took place last year's Fright Nights, and where Big Top previously used to take place, and obviously My Bloody Valentine before that. So yeah, it's a very iconic location when it comes to Fright Nights at the park. It's often the first area that guests to Fright Nights will see because it's so close to the dome and entrance. And yeah, we haven't got a maze this year, which is a shame, but it seems like this is going to be really, really exciting. And of course, this has so much potential for the future of Fright Nights. Because I imagine throughout this Fright Nights, the two schools are going to be kind of competing against each other if they ever walk past each other on the park. And as I said, in future Fright Nights, this could open up so many possibilities for perhaps even a maze. Terra at Amity High versus Thorpe High. Like, that would be so cool if we had a complete horror maze dedicated to that. And obviously it opens the door to new merch. I know this year Thorpe Park introduced the Ride versus t-shirts and stuff. We could be seeing Fright Nights versions of that. We could see Amity High versus Thorpe High. So many possibilities have now been opened. Really, really excited for this. And I presume we'll be seeing a dance show in this area. Not confirmed at all yet. It is just branded as a scare zone, so there could be no dance like Amity High's dance, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, really, really exciting stuff. Next up, we have another brand new addition to this year's Fright Nights event with a beautiful animation, I must say. We have the crows. So I'm going to go ahead and read the official description. Near the crows, nobody goes. Are they watching? Nobody knows. Myths passed down from generation. Did that just move? Or was it just your imagination? They roam and they creep in the dead of night, but blink and they're gone, out of sight. Near the crows, nobody goes. Are they watching? Nobody knows. So yeah, really, really interesting one. I know in the first construction update that myself and Kieran filmed, we just kind of threw around the idea of perhaps a scarecrow character. And I don't know, could this be that kind of thing? It seems like this is going to be almost a roaming team, because on the website it states appearing at various mystery locations from 3 PM. So it doesn't seem like the crows are going to be based in a specific place like a scare zone would be. It instead does seem like they're going to be more roaming around the park to different locations throughout the night. As for what the actual characters are going to be, I don't know. I would presume it's going to be like scarecrows and maybe like crow masks, but this is a real mystery. I really don't know what to think of this one. I'm obviously super excited because it's a theme that Thorpe Park haven't really touched in the year, but I can see it being really quite creepy, especially if the masks are up to a scary standard. So yeah, really excited for the crows. One that we weren't expecting at all, but I think could be a very scary addition to this year's event. Next up, we have an incredibly hyped new addition for this year's event. It is the Swarm Invasion. Now this is going to be a scare zone, obviously located over at Swarm Island from 3 PM. The official description: new for 2020, enter the dystopian wasteland after dark as the swarm has invaded, leaving a path of carnage and desolation in its wake. Head with caution as you pass through this alien-infested landscape, and pray you aren't abducted by these otherworldly extraterrestrials. The Swarm Invasion. The end is now. Now, ever since the Swarm was built back in 2012, people have been saying for so many years that there should be some kind of either second, smaller attraction based off of the Swarm, or a Fright Nights maze based off of it. And 8 years later, it's finally come true. We have got another Swarm experience because it is such an incredible theme. And I remember there was actually concept art or ideas for a Nemesis Subterra style attraction for the Swarm to open in like 2013, 2014 kind of time. Obviously never happened, unfortunately, but the Swarm Invasion is coming to this year's Fright Nights event. Does that mean Les Coogan is finally going to be returning to the park? He was, of course, a character that the park created to help with the marketing campaign for the Swarm. He was this kind of crazy guy that would talk about the conspiracies of the Swarm, and it all ended up happening. So maybe he's not that crazy in the end. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he does return. But yeah, in the description it does mention pray you aren't abducted by these otherworldly extraterrestrials. So I think we could very likely be seeing some absolutely terrifying costumes for this scare zone. If there are like big subspecies style costumes roaming around Swarm Island, they'll be absolutely terrifying. And of course, we haven't had anything Fright Nights related over towards the Swarm since the Sanctum. So yeah, it's great that Fright Nights is really spreading out across the entire park this year. Next up, we have Creek Freaks Unchained, which is once again going to be a scare zone. And this one is a little bit bittersweet because it pretty much confirms that Creek Freak Massacre, the brand new maze for last year's event, will not be returning for this year. I guess the fact that it is completely indoors meant that the park just couldn't get it open safely with COVID restrictions implemented. So it is a shame. As I said, it's a bit bittersweet, but with Creek Freak Massacre not returning, they have still got the buckwheats returning to the park in the form of Creek Freaks Unchained. A lot of people joked last year that the best kind of scare zone or roaming actors at the park were when the Creek Freak cast would walk from the dome to Creek Freak Massacre at the start of their shift or the end of their shift. Or if the maze went into an E-stop, they would literally come out of the maze and just cause havoc in Old Town. They were so good. Like, they'd just be running around with chainsaws. And I think that is pretty much what Creek Freak Unchained is going to be. It is located in Old Town, so I presume they're just going to be running around with chainsaws, just causing havoc like the buckwheats did last year. So yeah, really excited for this one. I think it's going to be pretty mental, and you're not going to be safe if you're walking through Old Town this Fright Night. The next attraction at this year's Fright Nights was, of course, Screamplex Cinema. I beg don't click off the video. I'm not going to spend long on this at all. I did it once last year and it wasn't that great, to be honest. So I doubt I'll be doing it a ton this year. But yeah, it's returning. It is located within the Angry Birds 4D cinema, and they basically just play some horror films with the 4D effects in action. Let's move on. And yeah, we are moving on to another brand new addition for this year's Fright Nights, the Fiesta Arena, which is once again going to be a scare zone. New for 2020, a mysterious menagerie has rolled into the heart of the island, but is it all just smoke and mirrors? Step into the dusty and dilapidated Fiesta Arena and witness the notorious Compere and their freakish cast astonish and disturb their willing spectators. This cabaret of carnage may sound fun, but will you leave shaking in fear or grinning in awe? And this is going to be located in the dockyard from 3 PM. Really interesting actually, because literally like the last few days, a stage has been built opposite where the ghost train entrance is, which is going to be used for Oktoberfest. But I presume once Oktoberfest's done, the Fiesta Arena might move onto that stage and kind of take over that area. Interestingly, it seems like this one is all about clowns and other kind of circus characters, and they haven't used the Big Top branding, which is really interesting, which to me suggests that Thorpe Park could truly be done with Big Top. They've moved on from it and they are introducing a kind of new clown or carnival kind of theme for this year. I don't know, it's obviously speculation for future Fright Nights events, but yeah, it does seem like we're going to be getting some kind of old abandoned carnival characters coming in, and yeah, there might even be a stage show, as I mentioned. But yeah, not a lot of information to go off on this one. I will obviously be covering all of the construction in the future construction updates, and yeah, we'll have to wait and see what gets built for the Fiesta Arena. Now at this point the video then goes on to talk about night rides, and I thought this was the end of the announcement. I was pretty happy, but then of course we got the news that we can take on 2 live action horror mazes, the first of which being the iconic Platform 15. That's right, Platform is back for another year at Fright Nights. I think that's a very positive thing. Last year it was a super strong maze, so hopefully this year they'll keep it up and maybe even make some improvements to it and change the story up a little bit. But yeah, Platform is back for this year. The most interesting thing about this, however, is Platform is going to be a paid maze. That's right, you're going to have to pay £10 every time you want to experience a Platform 15. It's a big shame. It's a big shame because Fright Nights has always been a free event. You can go in all of the mazes an unlimited amount of times. But of course, I think it is completely understandable that this year it's not the same. £10 ticket to experience the mazes is of course just going to help spread out guests and make sure that you're not queuing for hours and hours and hours. And yeah, it's just going to help to regulate the guest flow through this maze to make sure everyone is as socially distanced as possible. But yeah, it is a shame. I certainly won't be doing Platform 15 as much as I normally would this year, unfortunately, but it's understandable. We'll just have to see what Thorpe Park do moving forwards at future Fright Nights. Like, if they do like the idea of paid mazes, could we see like every maze at next year's event, which is of course the 20th anniversary of Fright Nights, being paid? I really hope not. I do just hope they keep this paywall for this year because they have to due to social distancing and stuff. I hope it's not a permanent thing. And of course, the final brand new addition to this year's Fright Nights event is a brand new horror maze called Roots of Evil. Unearth the horrors that lurk within a forsaken forest and prepare to meet the terrifying abominations that dwell within. Move discreetly through the dark undergrowth and pray your presence goes unnoticed, or risk becoming one of the forgotten forever. Now this is going to be located in the jungle opposite Wilderness Waffles, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be replacing Blair Witch. So yeah, another outdoor maze for this year. But yeah, really exciting that this maze area is finally having an original IP, and it seems like quite a scary IP. Like, it seems like it's going to be almost a Grudge style character with these like caterpillars running across the screen and stuff. So yeah, really excited for Roots of Evil. It's going to be a cool one to get construction updates on because of course this maze face does run right next to Monk's Walk. So be sure to subscribe for all of the construction updates that will be coming out soon, because we'll be able to see a fair amount of this maze's construction. But yeah, really like the logo of this maze, and as I said in the video, it looks really quite creepy. And of course this is another paid maze. It's going to be £10 to experience Roots of Evil. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. But that brings us to the end of all of the new mazes and attractions at this year's event. Wow, I have to say I am very pleasantly surprised with this year's Fright Nights announcement. It does seem like a very strong year, especially considering everything that's going on. Like, massive credit to the team that have managed to pull all of this together last minute and create what seems like a very strong event. I mean, even just the promotional material, that video and all of the logos, as I mentioned, is just so high quality. And yeah, I think if we're taking anything from this announcement, I think this year is going to be an insane year for atmosphere and park-wide ambience for Fright Nights. We've got so many scare zones across the entire park, and I imagine they'll go to town with all of the lighting and audio around the park. So yeah, I think the atmosphere is going to be possibly even the best Fright Nights atmosphere we've ever had. And of course, I am really excited to try out the mazes for this year as well. But yeah, the build up to Halloween season and Fright Nights is very much underway now. I can't wait to get back to the park with Kieran and film a ton more Fright Nights construction updates. We're also going to be filming a launch episode talking about this entire Fright Nights announcement in detail, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel for videos on all of these Fright Nights attractions first. And if you're not already following me on Twitter and Instagram, I would recommend doing so, because I bang out tweets on there as soon as I get any Fright Nights news. So if you want to be the very first people to hear about all of this stuff, then follow me over on those social media platforms. And yeah, otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. As I said, be sure to leave a thumbs up if you are as excited as I am for this year's Fright Nights event. And yeah, be sure to let me know all of your opinions down in the comments. I'm going to be reading through all of those comments and replying to you guys, discussing this year's Fright Nights event. And yeah, otherwise, thank you all very much for watching this video. Fright Nights is coming, baby. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.
Dripped out, now I'm vibing. Link with the boys, jump straight to the island. Silkstone flex on a wave like tidal. Style so crazy, I hit it in a silence.